Hi students, it's Mrs. Nice. I am going to show you how to format your companion book in case you missed something in class or maybe you were absent or just need a second look at it. So I want you to start out on the page or the document that we made to put your whole companion book into. So like in my class this year, we typed our dedication on a page, but then we titled the document as entire companion book or full companion book. So just open up whatever document that you're going to dump all of your files and chapters into. So this year I have us starting with the dedication page. So the first thing I'm going to have you do is we are going to add page numbers to the companion book. So to do that, you go up and you click on Insert, and then you click on Header and Page Number. And then you choose page number from the next menu. And then we're going to put our page numbers in the bottom right-hand corner starting on page 1. So that's this one right here. So go ahead and click it. And you'll see that it takes you, and you should see a number 1 down here. And change the font to, if it's in something different, to Arial or Times New Roman, whatever you've been using, size 12. Then click in front of the number and type your first name and then space. Just like this. You could put your last initial if you want to, especially if there's, you know that I have another student with your same first name, but that part's optional. Okay, so now we have the page numbers in, and now I'm going to have us add on our next page, which is going to be our table of contents. So to do that, click at the end of your dedication or at the end of whatever's on this page, the last piece of writing that you have, and then you're going to insert a page break. It's really important whenever you put in a new chapter or a new section to your companion book that you do not press enter or return to get down to the next page. It's going to mess up your formatting if you go and edit later. You always want to do a page break. So to do that, you just click Insert, and then you go to Break, and then Page Break. You could see that it tells you the shortcut keys on the keyboard. You could do Command Enter instead to do it, but I'm just going to click it from here for now. Okay, on the next available page, you want to title it Table of Contents. So write in Table of Contents. And then this should be in the same font and size as your other chapter titles. So I know my other chapter titles are, what are they in? I think it's size 22, and it was a different font. Which one was it? This one. Okay, so table of contents, it matches your other chapter titles. Then you're going to press enter once, and you are going to insert a table to set up your table of contents. So you go up here, insert table, and then this year I think we have 7 main chapters. Some years it's 8, some years it's 6. It just depends. So I'm going to do a table that is 2 columns by 7 rows. If you've written extra chapters, or if you're in another teacher's core class, just make sure you put in enough rows to match the number of chapters you have. So I'm going to put in my table. And then I'm actually going to change the font size back to Arial or Times New Roman size 12. Okay, then I'm going to take this center bar and drag it over so that's only about, the right-hand column is only like 1 inch, maybe half an inch even, it would be fine. So my table of contents looks like that. Now, everybody's table of contents should start with their introduction chapter. If you named your introduction something else, for example, I know some of you named it like welcome or something like that, instead of typing in introduction, title it whatever you named your introduction chapter. And then the last chapter everyone needs to have in there is the conclusion chapter. Again, if you named your conclusion chapter something different, like I know some people named it like wrapping up or something like that, or the end, and then you have your conclusion, go ahead and put your specific title for your conclusion there. Now what I'm going to have you do is all your other chapters that you have, so that is your summary, your analytical, your fan fiction, your theme essay, your creative or research, You get to decide what order to put those in these remaining spaces between the introduction and the conclusion. Whatever flow you think makes the most sense. I will say that a lot of students tend to put the summary right after their introduction, but that is up to you, and you could decide which order you want the rest of the chapters to go in. So go ahead and pause the video and put in your chapter titles right here now. Okay, so you can see I put in my other chapter titles in the rest of this. Now I'm going to show you guys how to put in your actual chapters to the companion book. Don't worry about the right-hand column yet. We'll get to that in a few minutes. So if I scroll down, I'm just going to click right after my table of contents, and I am going to insert another page break. And then this is where I'm going to put in my first chapter. So according to my table of contents, that's my introduction. So I am going to go to that document where I have the introduction written, and I'm going to copy and paste it from where I wrote the introduction. So I'll just highlight the whole thing. And then you could do file copy, or actually it's not file, I think it's edit copy, which is up in your menu bar up at the top. Or I use the keyboard shortcuts, which is Control C or Command C. So I copied it, and then I'm going to go over to my companion book, and I am going to paste it. So again, you could go edit, paste, or you could do the keyboard shortcut, which is Control V or Command V, and there it's pasted in there. And I could see now that my introduction is on page 3. So I'm going to scroll up to where it says introduction, and I'm going to write 3 right there. Okay, now there's an extra space. I'm going to get rid of that right now. I'm going to go to the end of my writing, and now I'm going to insert another page break because my next page will be my next chapter. So again, you could go to insert page break, or you could hit Command Return, and that will create an automatic page break for you that way too. My next chapter that I have is the Remember This, which is the summary. So I'm going to go into the summary chapter, and I'm going to copy and paste this, and you'll see that this chapter, it's more than one page, but that's okay. I'm going to copy it all at once, all at one time. I'm also going to copy the picture, and sometimes it doesn't copy the picture and you'll have to copy and paste it over separately afterwards. That's fine. So I'm going to do Control C, go to my document, and then I'm going to go where I created my next page break, Control V, and yep, it copied in the picture automatically for me. That's great. And then I'll see that, okay, this one is on pages 4 to 5. So I'll go back up to my table of contents. You have a choice. You could just write the starting page, and then I know my book first movie will start on page 6, because that will be the next blank page. Or you could also do 4 to 5 and write it in like that. It's up to you, your preference. So do either one. Okay, you're going to put in the rest of your chapters, but before you do, keep in mind that if you did a creative chapter where you drew something on a separate piece of paper, you still need to leave space for it in your table of contents. So, for example, I know my next thing in here is movie versus book, which is actually the analytical one. So let me copy that one in really quickly. I'll show you how to do it again. Again, you just highlight everything. Control C or edit copy, then I go in. I need to do my page break to get to page 6, and then I paste it. Okay, and then this one is from page 6 to 8. Great. Now my next chapter that I'm supposed to put in, if I look at my table of contents, is the character profiles, which I know is a creative chapter. The student did it on a separate piece of computer paper. You still need to leave space in your companion book document for them because we don't want the page numbering to get messed up. So this is the deal. If they are single-sided pages, that's fine. That's actually ideal. So all you're going to do is put in a page break, and this is where my creative piece is going to go. I'm just going to write something like creative placeholder. And if I just have one single-sided page, then I just do that, and then I put in my next essay after this. If you have two single-sided pages, like I believe this student has a couple pages, just like if you have like 4 pages, put in as many pages as you need to be the placeholder. Now, in your table of contents, make sure that you've titled it in your table of contents for your creative chapter, whatever it is the actual title is on what you created. So this person, it's called character profiles. I think they have like 2 or 3 pages of it, and we're going to leave the blank pages. Now, when you print it out, you're either going to glue those blank pages on top of the placeholder, or if you have 2 blank pages that are front to back, you could just take the placeholders out completely and then glue the 2 together and insert it into your companion book. This is only if your creative chapters are single-sided. If you double-sided your creative, right, if it's double-sided, then you need to make sure that wherever you put your creative placeholder is on an odd page. And I'll show you this more in person, but if you have a double-sided creative piece, make sure you put it on an odd page number. Okay, once you've put in all of your documents, I'm going to pretend I have, I've put in all of my chapters, great. You're going to go back up to your table of contents. I'm going to make up some page numbers here. And the last thing you need to do is you need to highlight your entire table of contents. And you are going to change the border color so it no longer looks like a table. So you go to the ... more, you go to border color and change it to white. Now when you do that, notice like, oh, now it's like kind of far away, like it's visually hard to see which page goes with which chapter. So what I like to do is I just press the period and hold it down until I get to the number, just like this, and don't let it go onto the second line. Okay, so I finished that up, and as you can see, all the dots make it clearer which page it's on. And then one more thing that I want you to do is I do want you to double space the chart. You could do that by going up to line spacing and choosing double, or you could just click enter after each page number to give more space, just like this. So double space it just so that it's not as crowded. Then also make sure that all of your companion book chapters are double spaced as well. Okay, that's it for just the formatting part of this tutorial. Keep in mind that you are not including your cover explanation or your about the author in this. You're going to print those separately, single-sided on their own pieces of paper, bring those in, and then print this document double-sided. So this whole big document, print it double-sided and bring that in with your other papers. I'm going to make another video that explains how to save this as a PDF. So if you need those directions, watch the next video. Hope this helped. Good luck.